What's up, guys, on another episode, and with Harley Quinn vs. Jinx coming out in just a few days, I thought it'd be a good idea to predict Season 9, or at least the first half. Since we're not quite sure what's going to be going on with the second half, we've not been revealed the fights yet, so it's hard to say what they're going to be and where they're going to place. So, I'll just say quickly, I think we're probably going to get Omni-Man at some point, probably going to fight Bardock. I have a really good feeling that Bill Cipher versus Discord is going to be the hand-drawn fight, and I hope to God that the Galactus versus Unicron is the finale. That's all I can really say. As for predictions, I don't know what's going to go on. I'm going to keep a little tally in the back of my mind to see what I get right here. I'm going to try and predict what the fight is, where it's going to play, east in the season, and what style of animation it is. Not gonna try. I'm gonna sometimes say who I think will win, but I'm probably gonna make analyses videos for those characters. Only if I'm into it, though. There's two ones which, if one I know is gonna get made, the other I'm hoping is gonna get made, and if it does, I'm gonna go in depth about it because I love the fight. But yeah, let's go in. Except we have YouTube analytics, and I keep according to it, only 12.3% of you guys are subscribed. So change that. Seriously, if you guys sub, we can get to 50 subs. I can show you guys my hand, and I can set another arbitrary milestone. Let's go. Okay, first up, we already know Harley Quinn vs. Jinx. We already know it's 3D. I'm gonna say Jinx probably wins. I've not heard much, but apparently she's like large building to city block level, whilst Harley Quinn's like street to wall. So I do think Jinx wins, but if Harley wins, I'm probably going to be more hyped for that because my sister's a massive fan of Harley Quinn. Yeah, honestly, I think this was the wrong choice for the first episode. Like, I get you're trying to get it out as soon as the Batman comes out, but you could have just moved to the second fight. There's one in particular which I think really should have been the premiere, but whatever. Now let's go on to the second fight, which we don't know is going to happen, but I think it's going to happen, and I'm really excited for it. Eren Jaeger versus Kaneki. Basically, the Attack on Titan finale is going to be dropping in April, and that's going to be around the time of the second fight. So either the second or third fight is really likely to be an Attack on Titan fight, and this is by far the most popular. Like, the only other one I can think of is Zeke versus the Gorilla Zord from Power Rangers vs. Wild Force. Which, that'd be a fun fight. You can do that if you want, but just give this fight to either SFM or In-House 3D. In fact, no, give it to SFM. Because In-House 3D has a fight for later, which is going to be bloody brilliant if they get right. This one, I just want to see them go up in, how they fight. Because at first, Eren is faster with ODM gear, but as the fight progresses, Ken gets faster with his Kagane. And it's really exciting to see how they bounce off each other. To be perfectly honest, I feel bad not including this in my fights I wanted to see. And I was going to add it in, but I wrote the list before I knew this was such a good match. So, yeah. Just make this fight, please. Cover the two. It'd be one of my favorite episodes based off purely the analysis. And one of the ones which would hit me the hardest, because these are two of the few animes I've actually finished. Well, both of them I finished the manga for. I couldn't rewatch Tokyo Ghoul because the ending is just so depressing. And I don't know what it is about the Attack on Titan anime, but I just don't like it compared to the manga. Okay. Third fight, it can probably go at any point, but Bowser vs. Eggman is probably happening this season. It might not be this half of the season. We might get Omni-Man vs. Bardock instead. But I think this is likely to happen here because it's going to be pretty close to the release of Sonic 2. And it's either that or this might be the finale to tie in with the Mario film, which ain't happening. Overall, I'm not too bothered about the fight. I don't know, all I really want is to have Bowser fight Hate the Bad Mech Army. Like, we don't really have to see Bowser's stuff. I mean, I guess they could give it everything, but if they give Bowser the Koopalings, then they have to give Eggman Metal Sonic, and then Metal Sonic wins. Cause screw you. The fourth fight is probably the one which I'm which is the one I know the most is likely to happen at this point, and if I don't get this one right, I'm gonna be shocked. Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna is the one that's gonna happen here. Let's be honest. It ties in perfectly to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, so it's just the time to make this fight. Scarlet Witch is a character I'm really excited to see how they use, because she's just so broken. And Zatanna was one of my favorite characters from Young Justice, so yeah. Overall, this is a fight I'm pretty excited for. I've heard people say Scarlet Witch should fight Raven, but Raven already kind of had all her match with the same themes against Twilight Sparkle. If that episode didn't happen, then I would be more hyped for that instead. But since that one has happened, you can't really do anything about it. It's literally the same themes. So this one's just a bit better. Fight 5. This one is another one which can happen at any time, but Boba Fett versus Predator, top tier episode. I originally thought it was going to be the second fight, because Book of Boba Fett came out in in the break area, and I figured to try and get it out as quickly as possible. But since everything is going to be pretty tight casted, the biggest one it'll be for is fight 3. But by that point, why not just stick it in at any time? By the way, I almost forgot to say, I think Scarlet Witch versus the Zatanna will probably be Sprite. This one, I really want it to be 3D. Honestly, it can work in any style. It's most likely going to be Sprite, because as much as people want to see it be live action, it's going to be hard to do that since COVID, that's still a thing. Yeah, there's not much you can really say, just make the fight. And also, Boba Fett probably wins, because no one has ever lost 3 times in a row on Death Battle, and anyone who has lost 3 times in a row, aka Batman, no, he's not lost 3 times in a row, he's lost 3 times, but the one who has at least gotten the win. So if they're bringing back Boba for a 3rd time, he's gonna get the win. But weirdly enough, I've heard a lot of people say the Predator wins. Not really. Boba has a lightsaber. That just counters anything the Predator can pull out. Plus, he's probably got heat-seeking somewhere, so Predator's armor doesn't really mean anything. Fight 6 is another one is probably the one I'm most hyped for, to be honest. Out of 6, we know for a fact they're happening, at least, since Eren versus Kaneki is still happening. Tanjiro versus Jonathen Jostar. This fight, I don't know, it just means a lot to me, because Jonathen Jostar was the first JoJo. I got massively into JoJo during 2021, and if he was a bad character, I probably wouldn't have continued the series. If we had started with Jotaro, I probably would have stopped watching, but because him and Joseph were so well written, it made me tough it out to see where JoJo's Bizarre Adventure went. I don't have as much of a connection to Tanjiro, but Jonathan cuts deep for me. And the fact that either can win, and it's one of the most debatable matchups, is really fun to me. And it's got my best kind of analysis, because on one hand it has a character I know nothing about, so I get to learn a lot about them. And on the other hand, there's a character I know everything about, and I can perfectly predict what they're going to give him. Except for the fact that I'm not sure if they're going to give him the Road Roller, because technically it's his body when Dio hits Jotaro with the Steamroller. So possibly you could say Jonathan is strong enough to hit you with a Road Roller. I don't know. I'm not sure who wins. It's definitely going to be a fight of speed versus power. But yeah, let's just move on to Fight 7. Fight 7 and 8, I'm almost certain that I've got it right. Magneto versus Tetsuo is a fight which I both care a lot about and also don't care a lot about, because Magneto's probably my favorite X-Man, though it's not much contest. I don't really care about the X-Men. The only one I care more about is the Juggernaut, because screw you. And I know literally nothing about Tetsuo. All I've heard is that apparently he's psychic, and I've heard a lot of people say he should be fighting Mewtwo, but I've also heard that Death Battle has said if Tetsuo ever appears, he will fight Magneto. So yeah. From his opponent, I'm guessing he's some sort of freedom fighter. I'm not sure. Please don't get mad at me. All I know is it's gonna be a sprite fight. I almost forgot to say Jonathen versus Tanjiro is gonna be sprite as well. It's gonna be a stomp, let's be honest. Magneto is absolutely beating Tetsuo here. Magneto is probably the strongest X-Man. Like, he's large planet to star. He's anywhere in between there. And he could be even tougher, for all I know. He could possibly be solar system. The fact that he's able to keep up with people like Iron Man is kind of nuts. But it's a fight which I'm excited to learn more about both. Tetsuo is the only character which I know for a fact I'm gonna go in knowing literally nothing about. Like, I at least have a base understanding of Tanjiro. Like, oh, he breathes, he uses water, big cut, kill demon, haha. All I know is Tetsuo, he's from Akira, he's possibly psychic, and he's gonna die. And the final fight is another one I'm pretty excited for, and it's Thor versus Vegeta. But I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw the thing, I thought that was Frieza. Like, when it showed us the reveal of a Dragon Ball character, there was a lot of purple flying around with a lot of white around it, so I figured it was Frieza. And honestly, I think Frieza versus Megatron would work more for this. Like, I know Thor versus Vegeta is the more popular matchup. It's the one which a large member of the Death Battle community hasn't slammed. Most people don't care about the Marvel Herald, though. And also, I feel like most people try to avoid this match because if it happens, it basically says, screw you guys, you have to wait another season for Galactus versus Unicron. Because Death Battle won't do 2 Transformers matches in one season. Especially not have one be the the first half of the season's finale and then the season finale. So I'm gonna say this one's more likely, but this is the one I want. Thor vs. Vegeta is the one which I think the in-house 3D team should take, because we've seen Dragon Ball be used in that style before, and it looks so good. And just imagine Hulk versus Broly, but instead of just talking about destroying stuff, it's the two who being obnoxious pricks, and one hitting the other with a hammer. Also, I know this might not be entirely possible, but just give us the guy who voices Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and I'll like the episode, because Dragon Ball Z Abridged is amazingly written. But please give us Frieza versus Megatron, okay? This would also be a very good fight for the in-house 3D team, and it would give us a chance to see an actual Dragon Ball Z villain that doesn't turn good. Not only that, but probably the most famous Dragon Ball Z character, and one of the villain, and one of the 5 most famous Dragon Ball characters in general, along with like Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, and probably I'd go with Beerus. Yeah, just give us Frieza, please. But that was the video. Bit shorter than some of my others. It's not one I have much to say about. You know the fights I want to see. Give me Himelios versus Rinakumura. Like, give me Goro Sensei versus Saiki K. Just give me Beerus versus Deoxys. I mean Boris versus Deoxys. Beerus would just no. I don't really care about half these fights. Like, I want to see Harley Quinn. I'm excited to learn about Tetsuo, Tanjiro versus Jonathen, and hopefully Eren versus King Kaneki are really up there. And just based off what they represent, they could be some of my favorite fights. Also, just leave a like, leave a comment if you want me to react to some of these episodes. Just watch them on video, give my opinion on them. I'm probably gonna do it anyway, but I just want to make sure before I sit down and I have to get all uncomfortable in my chair because it's not the most comfy thing. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.